Now, ladies and gentlemen, as of today, November 23rd, 2022, it's been around exactly a week since the huge meta change and update to Counter-Strike. This most recent update was probably the biggest one we've seen gameplay-wise and just in general this entire year, excluding majors, excluding cases, and while we can't really say operations because there hasn't been one. This obviously nerfed the op, the M4A1-S, removed Dust 2 from the active duty map pool, and of course got replaced with Anubis, which those are things I thought I'd never say in my entire life. In today's video, I want to take a look at which M4 is better and which one you should be using, and really all it comes down to is your play style, and if you want to save that $300, maybe if you're an opper, that might be a game breaker for you. Something we'll also be taking a look at and breaking down, which I haven't seen any other person really discuss, is the actual statistics behind each weapon. Which one is statistically better, doesn't matter the price. There's going to be that one person that just wants to use the best one. Before we do so, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe, and here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skins Monkey.
Now today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
So stat changes according to Valve that I thought I'd never really be breaking down. The M4A1-S range modifier went from 0.99 to 0.94. This of course affects your damage range on how far you can shoot. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you're probably going to be running into situations you probably maybe wouldn't think you'd get into otherwise. What we'll be talking about throughout this video is situational players. If you're someone who plays cat on B quite a bit on the CT side with a rifle, you're going to be looking chair, you're going to be looking top mid, you might want to switch, especially if you're looking top mid, to that M4A4. And if you're playing window and you're a main opper, you might want to play with the A1S even though it does a little less damage at those longer ranges, because you're going to need the $300 obviously to save up for your op, or possibly head armor. A lot of people are running into this situation, including myself, someone like OniPixel as well, where you'll shoot somebody with the M4A1S at a pretty longer distance, and you'll think you get him, right? You'll think you have eliminated him from the map, but he still has like 2 more bullets left to kill him, and people are not getting adjusted to that yet. Even I'm not, and it's been about a week of me playing. But I will say, everyone eventually will get adjusted to it. It might take a few extra days, possibly a couple weeks. Here's some more in-depth stats to help your decision. So people have been discussing armor penetration. They're both 70%. The M4A4 headshot multiplier is 4, while the A1S is 3.475. So obviously that is a little better, but nothing crazy. I'd say the A1S being a little cheaper and silenced makes up for that. The ammo in the A4 is obviously a lot better. You can spray and pray, pretty much how the old A1S used to be. The fire rate on the M4A4, specifically the rounds per minute, or otherwise known as RPM, is 666.67, while the A1S is 600. So that's like 68 almost points for a difference right there. This is the biggest thing now, is the damage fall off. So in Counter-Strike or any sort of video game, they don't go by miles, they go by units, in-game units. And to give you guys an example, from cat looking to chair is roughly 300 units. Top mid to window, for an example, is around 500, probably a little over that. So if you're playing top mid, maybe you're playing connector, you're looking up into palace, you might want to switch to that M4A4, especially if you're not in a role where you're going to need that money later on. That might influence your decision. If you're someone that's a B player, for an example, you're staying van quite a bit, you're staying bench, you might want to use that A1S. It's silenced, people are not going to know exactly where you are. You're also saving yourself a little bit of money, and the M4 is not going to be any different if you're playing from that position than it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I myself am kind of in the mix of going back and forth. I'm not a main opper, but I'm someone who can pick up the opping role pretty easily. And that's also why I think the op got nerfed. With Anubis getting added in, if you're going to be playing, I believe it's on the B site, you're going to be looking under, where all the T's are going to be coming from the lower water part. OniPixel obviously has a clip where he messed up quite a bit. And that's where most people are going to get hit with the actual nerf itself. That's where you're going to see it and witness it for yourself. And that's where people I think are going to want to switch to the A4. For me and the majority of people, I think you should stick to the A1S. It does pretty much the exact same damage as long as you're not trying to stretch out the ranges being like 1,000 miles or obviously 500 in-game units. You save yourself $300 and it pretty much just acts the same. But for people who want to stretch their roles out, maybe are not a main opper, you're probably going to want to go with the M4A4. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys ended up switching to, because this is a big question and big debate that people have had for years. And I actually think this update was pretty good. I also think it was very much needed. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.